The story you are about to hear is a compilation of documented true facts featuring historical characters, events, or places that has played a role in shaping history. Please sit back and listen as I recite this narrative for you.
Legend has it that in 1735, a Pines resident known as Mother Leeds found herself pregnant for the 13th time. Mother Leeds was not living a wealthy lifestyle by any means. Her husband was a drunkard who made a few efforts to provide for his wife and 12 children. Reaching the point of absolute exasperation upon learning of her 13th child, she raised her hands to the heavens and proclaimed, "Let this one be a devil!" Mother Leeds went into labor a few months later on a tumultuously stormy night, no longer mindful of the curse she had uttered previously regarding her unborn child. Her children and husband huddled together in one room of their Leeds Point home, while local midwives gathered to deliver the baby in another. By all accounts, the birth went routinely, and the 13th Leeds child was a seemingly normal baby boy. Within minutes, however, Mother Leeds' unholy wish of months before began to come to fruition. The baby started to change and metamorphosed right before her very eyes. Within moments, it transformed from a beautiful newborn baby into a hideous creature unlike anything the world had ever seen. The wailing infant began growing at an incredible rate. It sprouted horns from the top of its head and talon-like claws tore through the tips of its fingers. Leathery bat-like wings unfurled from its back, and hair and feathers sprouted all over the child's body. Its eyes began glowing bright red as they grew larger in the monster's gnarled and snarling face. The creature savagely attacked its own mother, killing her, then turned its attention to the rest of the horrified onlookers who witnessed its tempestuous transformation. It flew at them, clawing and biting, voicing unearthly shrieks the entire time. It tore the midwives limb from limb, maiming some and killing others. The monster then knocked down the door to the next room where its own father and siblings cowered in fear and attacked them all, killing as many as it could. Those who survived to tell the tale then watched in horror as the rotten beast sprinted to the chimney and flew up it, destroying it on the way and leaving a pile of rubble in its wake. The creature then made good its escape into the darkness and desolation of the Pine Barrens, where it has lived ever since. To this day, the creature known varyingly as the Leeds Devil and the Jersey Devil claims the pines as its own and terrorizes any who are unfortunate enough to encounter it. In 18th and 19th centuries, the Jersey Devil was spotted sporadically throughout the Pine Barrens region, frightening local residents and any of those brave enough to traverse the vast and developed expanses of New Jersey's southern reaches. Unearthly wails were often reported emanating from the dark forests and swampy bogs, and the slaughter of domesticated animals would invariably be attributed to the Phantom of the Pines. Over the years, the legend of the Leeds Devil grew, occasionally even overstepping the boundaries of its rural Pine Barrens haunt to terrorize local towns and cities. The most infamous of these incidents occurred during the week of January 16 through 23, 1909. Early in the week, reports started emerging from all across the Delaware Valley that strange tracks were being found in the snow. The mysterious footprints went over and under fences, through fields and backyards, and across the rooftops of houses. They were even reported in the large cities of Camden and Philadelphia. Panic immediately began to spread, and possess formed in more than one town. Fear and intrigue grew even greater when it was reported that the bloodhounds refused to follow the unidentified creature's tail in Hamilton. School closed or suffered low attendance throughout the lower New Jersey and in Philadelphia. Mills in the Pine Barrens were forced to close when workers refused to leave their homes and travel through the woods to get to their jobs. Eyewitnesses spotted the beast in Camden and in Bristol, Pennsylvania, and in both cities, police fired on it but did not manage to bring it down. A few days later, it reappeared in Camden, attacking a late-night meeting of a social club and then flying away. Earlier that day, it had appeared in Haddon Heights, terrorizing a trolley car full of passengers before flying away. Witnesses claimed that it looked like a large flying kangaroo. Another trolley car full of people saw it in Burlington when it scurried across the tracks in front of their car. In West Collingswood, it appeared on the roof of a house and was described as an ostrich-like creature. Firemen turned their hose upon it, but it attacked them and then flew away. The entire week, people reported that their livestock, particularly their chickens, were being slaughtered. This was most widespread in the towns of Bridgeton and Millville. The marauding misanthrope reappeared later in the week in Camden, where a local woman found the beast attempting to eat her dog. She hit it with a broomstick and it flew away. While there has not since been another week to match the frequency, fervor, and intensity of the January 1909 rampage, numerous sightings of the Jersey Devil have continued to be reported to this day. On November 12, 1966, 5 men who were digging a grave at a cemetery near Clendenin, West Virginia, claimed to have seen a man-like figure fly low from the trees over their heads. This was the first reported sighting of what would come to be known as the Mothman, an elusive creature that, although now widely celebrated by the town it once terrorized, remains as mysterious as it was on the night that a few frightened witnesses first laid eyes on it. Shortly thereafter, on November 15, 1966, 2 young couples from Point Pleasant, Roger and Linda Scarberry, and Steve and Mary Mallette, told police they saw a large gray creature whose eyes glowed red when the car's headlights picked it up. They described it as a large flying man with 10-foot wings. Eyewitnesses told the local paper, the Point Pleasant Register, that the beast had bright red eyes about 6 inches apart and a wingspan of 10 feet, and that it seemed to want to avoid the bright headlights of the car. According to the witnesses, the creature was able to fly at incredible speeds, perhaps as much as 100 miles per hour, one of the men told reporters, although all agreed it did make for a clumsy runner on the ground. They knew because the creature allegedly chased their moving vehicle to the outskirts of town in the air, then scuttled into a nearby field and disappeared. It was following their car while they were driving in an area outside of town known as the TNT area, the site of a former World War II munitions plant. The papers at this point were skeptically calling it a bird and a mysterious creature, though they did print Mallette's description that said it was like a man with wings. But more and more sightings were reported in the Point Pleasant area over the next year as the legend of the Mothman took shape. The Gettysburg Times reported 8 additional sightings in the short span of 3 days following the first claims, including 2 volunteer firefighters who supposedly saw what they described as a very large bird with large red eyes. One sighting, reported by Salem, West Virginia resident Newell Partridge, told of strange patterns that appeared on his television screen one evening, followed by a mysterious sound just outside of his home. Shining a flashlight toward the direction of the noise, Partridge supposedly witnessed 2 red eyes resembling bicycle reflectors looking back at him. This anecdote remains a popular one in the Mothman mythos, especially because it resulted in the disappearance of Partridge's dog, supposedly to the clutches of the fearsome beast. On December 15, 1967, just over a year after the first Mothman sighting, traffic was especially bad. The Silver Bridge, built in 1928 to connect Point Pleasant, West Virginia to Gallipolis, Ohio, was packed with cars from end to end. It had been built in a time when cars were lighter. The Model T weighed just about 1,500 pounds, a modest sum when compared to the 1967 average for a car, which is 4,000 pounds. Its engineers hadn't been particularly imaginative when it comes to the future, and nor had they been especially cautious. The bridge's design featured very little redundancy, meaning that if one part failed, there was almost nothing in place to prevent other parts from failing as well. And on that cold December day, that was exactly what happened. Without warning, a single eye-bar near the top of the bridge on the Ohio side cracked. The chain snapped, and the bridge, its careful equilibrium disturbed, fell to pieces, plunging cars and pedestrians into the icy water of the Ohio River below. 46 died, drowned, or crushed in the wreckage. It is said that the Mothman was seen on the bridge near the time of the accident, though whether as a warning or the cause is uncertain. It was the second terrible and bizarre thing to put the small community of Point Pleasant on the map in a year, and some connected the two. The idea that visitations from the Mothman predicted disasters led some believers to make ties to the Chernobyl disaster of 1986, the Mexican swine flu outbreak of 2009, and the 2011 nuclear disaster in the Fukushima, Japan, among others. The Mothman can still be seen in Point Pleasant, West Virginia today in the form of a historical museum, open 7 days a week, and also as a 12-foot tall chrome polished statue, complete with massive steel wings and ruby red eyes. A festival commemorating the Mothman's visit has taken place annually for years, a fun celebration that attracts locals and tourists alike. If you're passing through West Virginia this September, consider swinging by the festivities to remember one of America's strangest and most intriguing local legends.
Hey everyone! I just wanted to express how grateful I am that you took the time to listen to my narration. Hopefully you enjoyed it. I am Twisted Mind, and please enjoy the rest of your day. Salamat! I would like to take this moment to acknowledge Ben Jose, Edem Mori, Pia Bu, Dreamworks Stories, Aubrey Delgado, Ms. Colette, and Tessa Tienza for attending the premiere of Robert Johnson and making live chat more fun. Thanks also to Tik the Lauk Stories, Miss Cafe Latte, Roger Roach TV, Eriza Miguel, Pinoy Horror Encounters for taking the time to comment. Stay safe and have a great day, y'all. Thank you.